Hey folks, it's Lauren from Snowy's here with the Rock Tamer Mudflap System. Now this is a really great option if you're a tower, whether that be a camper trailer or a caravan or even a boat or bike trailer. They're a great addition to your car without being like a fixed or permanent install. They're easily removable if you want to take them off between trips, but they're going to protect whatever you're towing from rocks or mud splatter. Now when they are set up, they've got a full maximum width from end to end of about 195 centimeters. So ideally you want to be setting these up with about 2 inches or roughly around about 5 centimeters exceeding the outside width of your tire. So they're going to be suitable for vehicles that have a wheel to wheel width of around about 185 centimeters. So they also come in 2 different sizes. So you've got a 2-inch hub or a 2.5-inch hub. And at the bottom, there's some of these little clamp bolts that allow you to tighten it up in case the tongue on your tow ball is a little bit narrower than that 2 or 2.5-inch hitch there. So coming to the overall length of the mud flap from the top of the bar here and going down to the bottom of the mud flap is about 65 centimeters. Now, when you're installing your Rock Tamers, you're going to want to have a gap of about, you're going to want to have a gap of 10 centimeters or 100 mils between the bottom of your flap and the ground. Now that measurement needs to be done when you've got the full tow ball weight on and a full load on your car as well. So your car's going to be sitting as low as possible or mimicking real life. That's when you want that 10 centimeter gap to be there. So make sure you're measuring that correctly when you're doing your installation. Now the whole Rock Tamer setup weighs just under 13.5 kilos. And the only other important thing to note is checking out suitability of your current tow hitch setup. So as you can see here, the hub itself, it's recommended to have about 1 inch of space. Rock Tamers recommend to have about 1 inch of space here between your receiver and your tongue. But we find around about 30 to 35 mil to be the better option. If you check out your tongue and you don't have any organic space between the receiver and the end of your tongue here, your options are going to be either to get a new tow ball tongue or to drill a secondary hole through the back end here, which will allow you the room that you need to install the hub of the Rock Tamer system. So stay tuned if you want a little bit more information about what comes in the box and how to install. Hold up fam, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any awesome content on the Snowy's channel. Let's get into it. So when you order your Rock Tamers, you will get a free rock screen. So this one is unpackaged. I'll run you through how this installs on our demo Rock Tamers at the end of the video. But the one that comes with your Rock Tamers is 850 mil wide. There is a 950 mil wide version if you've got an extra wide vehicle, but that is available separately. So just 850 will come with your Rock Tamers. Now you're going to be ordering a 2-inch or a 2.5-inch hub depending on what your vehicle is. Aside from the hub difference, everything else is going to be the same. So in your Rock Tamers box, you're going to get your instruction manual and a couple of other bits of information from Clearview there. And we're going to have 2 of our flaps. So it's a bit of polystyrofoam there with a little balls attached, which is worth mentioning. Now, as you can see on the back here, we've got a fair amount of molding, and then we've also got some lines running across, which is essentially a pre-designated cut point for when you're doing your measuring of your flaps on the install. So you've got your flaps there. Your second one is underneath this foam. So then these components here are your mud flap clamps. You've also got your aluminium crossbars, which hold the flaps on from your hub. You're going to have a bundle of fixings kits. Now, all the fixings in here are stainless steel. You're going to have a couple of extra things like some rubber caps that go on the back of the bolts to keep them weather protected. The rubber caps for the end of your aluminium poles, for example. You also get given a Allen key And in your little kit, you get given a hole punch and a star lock key or a torque key, an Allen key, and these are the components that you get for the install. What you will need on hand will be a tape measure, a Stanley knife, adjustable wrench, or a variety of different sockets for all the little nuts and bits and pieces. And you also want a straight edge as well. So just as a quick example, this is the silicone cap cover that comes to help keep the back of your bolts watertight or waterproof. Your hub comes fully assembled like so. And then you've also got your Rock Tamers nameplate. That's also stainless steel, and that's what you will install on the front of your mud flap, like so. Clearview have got a really in-depth and comprehensive video guide on YouTube that you can check out as well if you're looking for more specific details of every little step and measurements and things like that. Now, I mentioned before that your Rock Tamers will come with this rock screen. So as you can see, it's very heavy duty mesh on one side, and on the other side we've got like a PVC coated material here. Now we've got a couple of little eyelets in place, and in the center you can see we've got a section here which has got a couple of grid stitching pieces through it, which is important because you do see a lot of people installing Rock Tamers on their vehicles on YouTube that have probably done it a bit incorrectly. A lot of the American videos actually, and being an American product, it's pretty interesting the difference. But in America, they seem to install their Rock Tamers like perfectly vertical. But in Australia, the recommendation and the way that they should be installed here is that 45-degree angle, which is creating that full curve. And then secondly, with your rock screen, the screen itself, and the reason why it's got this stitching in the middle is because you're actually supposed to, when you're installing your rock screen, you're actually supposed to cut straight down the middle here and then cut out a square to accommodate your tow hitch. So what this rock screen is going to be doing is sitting really nice and snug and flush, but behind your actual tow ball, which is going to create a really good protection for whatever you're towing. So we see a lot of people who do install them, but it's sort of sitting up like this over the drawbar of whatever you're towing, which isn't quite the right way to do it, and obviously isn't going to give you as good a protection as you're going to want. So these we've got a couple of eyelets here to allow for slightly different widths. So we've got, and that's going to be mirrored on the same side here. So you've got 4 stainless steel bolts and wing nuts that come with your mesh guard. So you're going to want to be undoing this first bolt here on both sides of your mud flap, and you're going to replace this bolt with one of these, one of the bolts with the mesh guard. Now the bolt for the mesh guard, instead of going forward like this, it's actually going to come from the back out, and then you're going to pop your eyelets over the top like so, and then tighten the wing nut down. Now the second step that you've got, you're obviously going to be doing that on both sides. Then the second step that you've got is to mark out roughly where the lower eyelet sits on your mud flap. Mark that out, and then on your mud flap you'll be drilling a hole through there and doing the same thing. You'll be poking a bolt through the back, slipping your eyelet over, and then tightening that down with the wing nut. And then so once you've got, you'll have your tow ball section hole cut out, you'll have your hole drill down here, you'll be anchored on both sides. So then the final step will be to zip tie these 2 eyelets together above the tow ball to stop it from slipping down. So that's about it for how to install your mesh stone guard in between your Rock Tamer mud flaps. You can get these at snowies.com.au at our low prices every day.